competition. Competition. Killing competition. I want it all on focus. Let's go and get it. Go and get it. Set them focus. Say let's go and get it. Killing competition. I'm all about it. Spend that bread and make it back. Ain't worried about competition. Put them on cardiac, popping bottles and all of that. You know I'm all of that. I keep the crowd jumping like I gave them a party pack. Car audibles like a quarterback. Roethlisberger. I'm still in killing these niggas up. I'm getting away with murder. I catch the wave of the track. I'm gnarly just like a surfer. I'm so hot and I ain't even touched.
All right, it's Tuesday night, so that means it's time for the Jeff Mayweather Radio Show. My name is Alex Iserman, and joined by the man himself, Jeff Mayweather. Jeff, how are you doing tonight, sir?
Bad, so.
Not too bad. Ready to make that trip out to Oklahoma and check out some MMA fighting with Chemo on Thursday night with Bellator?
Yeah, definitely.
We're looking forward to that, but tonight we're going to talk a little bit about boxing, of course, and we're going to be joined the second half of the hour by ring card girl extraordinaire Ashley Ferrara. She'll be joining us, but right now we're going to be joined by a guy that's got quite a big match coming up here in a couple of weeks. Right now his record stands at 25-1. Fernando Guerrero. Fernando, welcome to the show. You're on the Jeff Mayweather Radio Show with myself and Jeff.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining. Go ahead, Jeff. Yeah, Fernando, last week we had on Peter Quillin, so we had to give you equal opportunity to join us and give your side of the fight that's coming up, so thanks so much for joining us. For those that don't know, February 9th, the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, Peter Quillin, Kid Chocolate's putting up his WBO title against Fernando Guerrero. So, Fernando, how you feeling about the fight? How are preparations going?
Preparation's going great. No injuries, nothing bad. Everything is positive, and we're ready to go.
Yeah, so you'll be fighting here in Brooklyn. How's that feel? Your last fight was in Humboldt, which I used to live right out by there, but now you're taking a big step up here in venues. You're going all the way to the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. What's that going to be like?
It's going to be great. It's going to be like I'm in my hometown. You know, I'm used to fighting in big arenas with a lot of people, so I'm used to it.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff, as a trainer, any difference for fighters when that you notice when you have like a huge mass arena as opposed to maybe a smaller, more quiet place? Like, obviously Fernando's been in big arenas, but, his last fight was in Humboldt, which is a smaller venue, and then you have this huge place like the Barclays Center.
I did not hear you at all. Your phone is very distorted.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me now? Maybe I had the phone too far away.
No.
Is that better, Jeff? What's that?
I'm trying every method I can to try to hear you clearly, but I can't.
All right, Jeff. I'm going to try. Actually, I'm going to call on another phone here. But, Fernando, are you hearing me okay?
Yeah, I hear you great.
All right, so it must be a problem with Jeff's phone there. He has that cricket service, so, he must be having some difficulties there. So, Jeff, let me know if and when you can hear me well. We'll carry on with you. Oh, now he can hear me now that I'm knocking his cricket service. So you with us now, Jeff? Huh? So you still can't hear us?
I cannot hear you.
All right, well, I'm going to carry on with Fernando. Maybe you want to call and hang back up. Maybe you have a bad connection, Jeff, and we'll carry on with Fernando for a second here and try to get your situation worked out. While we're doing that, Fernando, just, your thoughts on Peter Quillin, tough guy. You got a shot at title here. I know you weren't too familiar with him when you got named as opponent, but as of right now, what do you know about him?
Well, tough guy, nice guy. We're just ready to fight, It's a business. He has his world title championship, and he wants it, and I mean, he has it, and I just want it, you know. But other than that, he's a real cool guy, a good story and everything, and we're just trying to give a good fight for the crowd, you know.
Right. Now, you know, you obviously, you guys have both lived in the United States for most of your life, but you have the Dominican roots and he has the Cuban roots. You know, he was really careful to say that, you know, he has a lot of fans that are Dominicans and friends, so he didn't want to turn this into a, you know, Dominican versus Cuban thing, but it always seems especially with the Latin American fighters, always turns out that way. So, you know, what are your thoughts on, you know, the Cuba versus Dominican thing, and are you trying to make it like that?
No, I'm not trying to make it like that. It's just that, you know, when I do fight, I fight for my Dominican people. I fight for whoever, you know, whoever who has a dream, whoever is trying to make something of themselves. That's what I fight for. You know, I got a lot of American fans. I got a lot of Mexicans. I got everybody. So, but I'm just Dominican, and you know, it just happens to be the place that I'm from, and which I adore. But other than that, no. It's like, you know, like I said, it's just how the business works.
Right. Now, I guess Peter said it was a big thing to you because it was his understanding there's never been a Dominican middleweight champion. So is that something that's really important to you to be the first one to do that?
Yes. You know, ever since I was young, the only person that I could ever admire and look up to was Sammy Sosa. And Sammy Sosa is a baseball player. You know, so now, you know, I just know that it's bigger than just boxing. You know, I know that if I do this fight and once when I win this fight, Dominican Republic is gonna come out and it's gonna bet it. It's just like, remember how nobody even knew anything or cared about the Philippines until Manny Pacquiao came out, and now their whole country is way better now because of Manny Pacquiao. So it's not about just boxing. It's more about bettering a country. Because once when I win this title, I know that I have the attribute and I have the knowledge to better my country better. You know, better my hometown in Salisbury, Maryland. Better my whole country. And just make somebody else a champion, not just from boxing, but from anything else. You know, it's just possible once when they see a champion. You know.
All right. You mentioned Sammy Sosa there. How was it, you know, when he had his downfall there? How do the people perceive him at this point?
Well, you know, in every sport you have your ups and downs, you know. But I still look up to him. You know, he's Dominican, and he I mean, you know, you got to think about the things that he did. You know, the hospitals that he did, the publicity, and he made a little kid believe, like me. You know, I know that there were way more better baseball players just because of Sammy Sosa. So, and like I said, I'm not even a baseball player, but I knew that I could do something just from him. So positivity follows positivity, you know.
All right. So now going into this fight with Peter, you know, other than the fact that he's a tough guy, you know, what do you know about him as far as, you know, his strengths and weaknesses, and what you think that you can exploit?
Well, I think, you know, it's like I was telling my sparring partners today, and I was telling my coach today. A lot of people think that they have it until they get in the ring, you know. And I really want to know, and I really want to see what I'm made of. You know, a lot of times, a lot of people, they get in there like, yeah, I know I could do that, you know. But you never know until you're in that ring, you know. So I really want to prove myself, prove to the whole world, but most honestly, I want to prove to myself that I'm champion material, you know. And I've been doing this my whole life. You know, I had 140 amateur fights. I lost some. I won a lot, and the ones that I lost were the most ones that I just knew that I always grew. You know, and this is the place that I'm in now. You know, I'm never gonna give up because, like I said, it's not just about boxing. Once when I win this, it's gonna open the doors for me to do a lot of stuff. So if I don't give it my all, then I'm being selfish to everybody else.
Okay. I think, Jeff, we just got you back in here. How's your reception now? Can you hear a little better?
It's great. It's great.
All right, so now we got you. All right, good. Glad we got that sorted out. Because anyway, he was just talking about what he knows about Peter and the strengths and challenges that he has, or the advantages he has over Peter. Jeff, your thoughts on this fight? How you see it playing out as far as let's say from Fernando's standpoint, what he needs to take advantage of to win the fight.
I mean, both guys are very, very, very talented fighters. I've seen Guerrero fight only on 3 occasions, and even though Peter's from my hometown, I haven't really seen him fight. I only seen him fight twice, and so to be honest, with that little knowledge about either one of them, I don't really know what strategy will work for either one because I'm not really that familiar with either one of them enough to say, I think that it should play out this way or this person should do that. Because I just don't have enough visual information to come up with a game plan to say that that Fernando should do this or he should do that. I mean, I just don't have enough information.
All right. Now, you might not know him specifically, his particular fighting, but the one thing I can't speak tonight. The one thing you do know about is his trainer, Virgil Hunter, Jeff. Thoughts on him?
I think Virgil, of course, right now, I mean, he's a very, very high trainer. But most importantly, even as a trainer, I think Virgil's a great human being. Very, very nice guy, very likable, and I'm glad to see that he's having this, his time has his shine going on right now, and having a lot of success. I mean, so, I like Virgil a lot.
Yeah. And Fernando, you switched not too long ago over to Virgil. How'd that transition go, and what's he meant to your overall game?
Well, it's like he contacted me, and we were always talking. It's a small world, so in boxing, everybody, and then just the energy and the way that he was talking to me he made a lot of sense. I'm the type of fighter that I question a lot, and he's the type of coach that he likes when boxers question, because then they truly know. So the positive energy, everything just fell in place being with him. And talking to him and all that stuff. So we made the arrangement, and like right now, all I want to do is just if I'm gonna go to war, I want to have the best army, the best attribute, just going in, because I know that I'm a good fighter, and not just once when I get in the ring, it won't just be me. It'll be the right instructions, but then at the end of the day, it's all about me, what I'm going to do. So I think it's a great team, and everything just felt real good, positive energy, and then we just started working, and everything else has been great.
Right. Did you get to spend a lot of time with Brandon Gonzalez? He was with Jeff last year, and Jeff fired him and kicked him out there over there to Virgil. So what's it been like with him?
Well, it's great.
I'm just kidding. He didn't know. I'm just kidding. No, he didn't fire Brandon. That was a bad joke. But no, yeah. Have you spent much time with Brandon?
Oh yeah, well yeah, of course. You know, we work together, great sparring, and you know, it's just everything is good. You know, with just the stable mates and everything, and it's just positive energy. So everything falls in place.
Yeah, Jeff. You know, just your thoughts real quick. Looking back, you know, Brandon just had the win there. Was it 2 weeks ago? Just sidetrack it a little bit. Your thoughts on Brandon and his how it's turned out for him so far with Virgil.
I mean, Brandon's a solid fighter. You know, whether he was Virgil, whether he was anyone. But I thought that his performance wasn't up to the level where it should have been, because I thought he actually fought the wrong fight. I think he stayed inside with the guy too long. When he was outside, he was boxing the guy easy, but he stayed inside and was getting caught with uppercuts, and he really got hurt bad at the end of the fight. But but the most important thing is that he won, so he can move on and go to the next fight and perform better. All forgiven.
All right. And Fernando, the one thing I noticed looking back at your career, you're from Salisbury, Maryland. You're proud of that. You haven't fought there in a while. Is that by design, or is there some plans of you heading back there at some point in the near future?
Well, yeah, of course. You know, I had such a great following in Salisbury. You know, from my first fight that I fought there, I had thousands. 10,000 people in an arena, sold out arenas, and all that stuff. So it was just great, But then the thing is like I can never settle, because for the people in Salisbury and Maryland, they just didn't like me as a boxer. They liked me as a human being. So they were proud of me, and they were treating me like a champion already. But the thing is like I didn't want to settle as in like, oh, well, that's the only place that I'm going to fight. I told them that I want to get out and bring them the home title, So
right.
I'm out there fighting for them because it's like imagine a boxer going into the arena and fighting for 2 or 3 people. I'm used to every time when I run. Every time when I'm doing anything, I'm used to the people just pumping me up and all that stuff, So I just really, I do it for the people, Other people, they do it for different reasons and all that stuff. Of course, the money's gonna come. So, but I love it when the kids, when I go to the schools and I talk to the kids, and how I've been traveling in D.C. and in L.A., and now I got my Hispanics there and everybody, and then just like Jeff, he doesn't know much about me right now, but I love it, because now as soon as he sees me fighting, then he's gonna have more to say, like, okay, this is what Fernando's gonna do, and that's what a lot of people don't like, but I love that. You know why? Because now it's one more person that knows a little bit more about me.
Right. See now, Jeff, I don't like this fight at all, and I'll tell you why. When you have these fights like they're trying, when they're trying to get Pacquiao and Floyd or whatever, there's always, you always fell on one side of the fence. You loved one guy or you hated the other. Here it sounds like we just have 2 absolute nice guys, and it's really hard to root for either one of them to lose because what do you think, Jeff? Seems like both of them are just class guys talking to both of them.
Oh yeah, I mean they both sound like they're class acts, and and basically, I mean, that's part of the sport as well, But at the end of the day, you still will have your own established fan base. You can have 2 good guys fight, but still, there's somebody they're going to take a side, so they're still going to have their own share of fans.
Yeah, just like I tell people, don't feel bad about cheering for me or cheering for Peter Quillin. Just like I said, if I wouldn't be fighting him right now, I would be cheering for him. So the thing is, it's just, it's just like, it's the sport, man. And when you have 2 men that think they're the man and they think they're both champions, then we're gonna have all the respect, and outside of the ring, inside of the ring, because I respect everybody, you know. But the thing is like, this you can't have two winners, you know. So the thing is like, once when I get in, you know, like I'm gonna be that man that we're different, you know. Once when we get in there, we're different because we got to be animals in there, you know.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. I mean, is there any pressure on you? Like I said, it seems like you guys are both nice guys. Neither one of you trash talking the other. Ever any pressure to kind of, you know, even if it's fake, to dirty it up a little bit to try to sell some tickets?
I can't do it. You know what I mean? They try to make me do it before, and it just doesn't work. You know? They try to make me mug at a person or do this or do that. I can't do it. You know what I mean? It's not me. I let my 2/5 do the talking. It's like a lot of times, you know, I tell them like I'm like a playful pit bull, you know. The pit bull, when they get a smaller dog, they tear them up, but all they're doing is playing with them, you know. So that's how I am, you know. I came from Dominican Republic from Dominican Republic at a young age, you know, coming to America. And then I had a lot of people around me that helped me, welfare and all that other stuff. So I never really had any problems in the streets because I didn't even know what it was. Never really been homeless or anything. So I had a good life, even though it was poor at a lot of times, even when I was in Dominican Republic and all that stuff. You know, a lot of people grew up with Mercedes and Benz and all that stuff. Well, I grew up with and I was okay with it. Now the things that I could provide for myself is because I could afford it now. But the things that I didn't have back then, I didn't need them. You know, and I'm the person that I am now, and I can't be fake. I'm not gonna look at him and see if he's ready or I'm ready. Nah. I'm gonna be me, and we'll know who's ready. And we'll really know what we have when we step in the ring. You know, you could be an animal and do this, but until you get hit, and until you feel that power and all that stuff, somebody's gonna retreat, and then they're gonna be like, oh man, I didn't know it was gonna be that hard. You know, so
yeah. Jeff, I think what we need to do here is get on ProBoxingInsider.com and just make up an article. You know, have Fernando just misquote him. You know, have him talking trash about Cuba and all that kind of stuff. What do you think?
Oh, well, you know what's funny? The funniest thing is this is almost like you two guys are like mirror images of each other. I mean, Peter was exactly like you. Peter's not going to get out of character just to sell a fight. He's a guy who he is what he is, and he's fine with that, you know. And I'm hearing the exact same thing from you. And I mean, and basically, at the end of the day, that's what it's about anyway. It's about the fight. It's not about, you know, trying to, because at the end of the day, you want to walk away with that championship, you know. And so basically, and in order to get it, you got to fight for it. And like you said, let your fists do the talking, and when the smoke clears, you know, either you'll be champion or you won't. But you don't have nothing, you know, you don't have to badmouth anyone or anything like that, because at the end of the day, it's a job. It's a job that you guys do.
It's a job, and then I remember the first time when I fought in Salisbury, and I never even knew I had a lot of fans, you know, because you're not supposed to see it. People, you're not. It's like a lot of times when people say, "Oh man, you're a humble man," you don't. It's like you can't say you have class. You show class, you know. And I can't say, "Oh, I'm humble." I gotta be humble. I gotta show that I'm humble, you know. So when I fought my fight in Salisbury, I knew I had a couple of fans, but I didn't know I had thousands, you know. And then right now, if people are gonna show, I appreciate it, because the economy is so bad right now that somebody that pays even the lowest ticket, you know, if they pay at ringside seats or they pay, as long as they pay what they can afford, and all I need is one or two people. As long as I know that those two people came all the way from California just to see me, all the way from Maryland just to see me, the least thing that I could do is just give him a good show. You know, that's all I could do.
Yeah. You know, the one thing I'd like to ask you about Fernando is, you know, a few years ago you were like, you know, one of the hot prospects. You know, you were a lot of buzz around you. Then you ran into, I think you were 21, 22-0, whatever it was, and you ran into Grady Brewer, and that didn't quite go your way. And you kind of, you know, it seemed like for a while up till now you kind of fell off the radar. It's like people dismiss you from one unfortunate performance. You know, just your thoughts on that fight, and how did that affect you mentally?
Well, you know, when you have a fight like that, like, and then you're an amateur star, you know, that you won the USAs and you go to the Olympic trials and all that stuff, and then you feel that you never lost because, you know, even when you lose a decision in the amateurs, you feel like you got robbed or whatever, so it's not like you lost. So now when you turn as a professional and then you lose, everybody sees you and you're one of the hottest prospects and everything, and then you lose, it could kill you, you know? It could either make you or kill you. And then the thing is, it's like I try to explain to my dad a lot of times when I tell him, you know, like when you're a little kid, you never think that you could die, you know, because you don't understand the action about dying and all that stuff. So as a professional, I never thought that I could lose, ever, you know. But then when I knew as a little kid that I could die, then I'm like, oh, man, I got to be careful now, or I got to be smarter now and all that stuff. So I think that loss right there made me into a man. You know, it made me realize that, you're not just going to get the title. You got to fight with everybody. You can't underlook anybody and say, hey, he's a mop or whatever, you know. You got to fight. You got to be careful even with the guys that can't fight, you know. So it made me more respectful. It made me into a better man because now I'm thinking outside of boxing. You know, I'm thinking about speaking my mind as I'm like taking control of my own career. I haven't been when I was fighting. If you see my record and everything, I've been fighting in 160 my whole fight, and if you go even back, I was fighting in 165 since I was like 16, 17 years old. You know, and the thing is I'm not the biggest middleweight, but I've always been middleweight. You know, I've always been a 165-pounder, 160. So dropping that weight, you know, made a little difference on me. And I should have spoke up on it, but I didn't because the type of person that I am, you know, I was a yes, sir, you know. So now I'm becoming a yes, sir to only Fernando Guerrero, you know. And that attribute puts into my boxing too, you know. So now it's being smarter. Yes, I've never fought anybody that is stronger or faster than me, but now, you know, it's not about the speed or power. It's about when you use the speed and power. So, you know, it's just things like that it just makes you grow up. A lot of people, they put you down because you lost one fight or two. But the thing is, it's like my last name is Guerrero. My last name is Warrior. And like I said, I don't like to say it. I would like to show it. So even if I go out, you know, I would like to go out as a warrior. You know, so me and Peter Quillin, it's an honor for me to have a war. You know, it would be an honor for me to just go out and give it all I got. You know, because those are the classic fights that I want. It's just those moments that you want because now it's real. Like I said before, I want to see what I'm made of. I don't want to say what I'm made of. I want to really see. And when I win this fight, I still want to see. I want to fight those fights that I'm like, you know what, that I could feel good about myself.
Now, Jeff, when you have a fighter like Fernando's got all the talent in the world and he suffers a loss like that, I'm not talking about someone at the end of the career, but someone like Fernando who's in the prime and you know is on the way up. How do you handle a fighter coming off a loss like that, get him motivated and get him set back on the right track to do better in the future?
Well, I mean, basically, you gotta, take a step back for a little bit, and put him in with weaker opposition to mentally get his mind back on the winning track, and also and to build his confidence. So I mean that's the best process, is because now the fighter who has lost now all of a sudden realize, like he said, that he's not invincible and that he can be beat. But you give him his swagger back by putting him in there with someone that he can regain his confidence with. Maybe 1 or 2 fights, and then back on to to the mission that was at hand.
Yeah. Right. Now, hey, Fernando, a lot of people think that you didn't deserve this shot right here. Like I said, a lot of people kind of dismissed you after that loss. Or what do you have to say to those people? And I mean, obviously you're planning on proving them wrong, but just thoughts and comments on people that thought you weren't, really the person for the job right now.
Well, the thing is like I would like to apologize to those people. I don't have that type of power that they think that I do. Everybody's could have their own opinions. I'm just grateful that I'm in the position that I'm in, and February the 9th, hopefully I could just tell them okay, I do deserve it.
Yeah. And then, it's long-term goals. Obviously, your short-term goal is the WBO middleweight championship here in February 9th. But just long-term, when you walk away from the sport, anything specifically you want to say that you did?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I'm just, obviously your short-term goals are to win the championship here on February 9th. But, when you walk away, and whenever that is, from the sport, long-term goals, things that you want to be able to look back and say, wow, I can't believe I did that, or I did reach my goals. What do you want to have accomplished?
Well, what I want to accomplish is just be like that Sammy Sosa, that pride, that Dominican pride, that Salisbury, Maryland pride, that East Coast pride. A lot of people don't understand, but when you become worldwide, I fought a lot on Maryland, but it's all the East Coast, West Coast. So I just want to bring that positivity to the people. That different thing is you don't have to come from the streets or from bad connections or anything like that. You could be just a guy that's just trying to make his dream. You don't have to have those sad stories. You don't have to get shot 2 or 3 times. Just stay in school and try to make your parents proud. Try to make yourself proud. That's all.
All right. Well, Jeff, like I said, I can't think of any 2 fighters that we've had are probably sound nicer than Peter Quillin and Fernando Guerrero. So I think it's going to make for a great fight. It doesn't. You don't always have to have 2 people being total jerks and calling each other names and that kind of stuff. So it's actually going to be a very interesting fight. And Jeff, just final thoughts before we let Fernando go here on their fight coming up February 9th.
Well, I just I wish him all the best. And, hopefully he'll fulfill his dream.
Yeah. And Fernando, for the folks that are interested in the fight, just one more time, where they can get tickets or watch it, and then also you do the social media thing where they can catch you on Twitter, Facebook, or whatever you're doing. Fernando?
They we lost.
Says he's online. Oh, no, we just lost Fernando. So let me see. I'll try to get him back here real quick here. We'll get him right back there. Just 1 second for that. So Jeff, just while I'm doing that, while I'm getting Peter back on there, just tell us about Oklahoma and this fight coming up.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I don't know who the guy Mo's fighting, but
Coleslaw.
Huh?
Coleslaw. That's what Mo calls him.
Oh, coleslaw.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what he did say. But I haven't had a chance to see no footage on him.
Right.
Don't know anything about him, so I'm just prepared.
All right, hold on, Jeff. We got Fernando. Jeff, I just wanted to. Fernando, you back with us?
Yes, yes.
I just wanted to give you a proper send-off there, so I don't know if you heard me or not, but just for the folks, one more time where they can catch you, this fight on TV or get tickets, and also if you do the social media thing, where they can catch you on Twitter and Facebook and that kind of thing.
Okay, yeah, well, you can find me on Facebook, Fernando El Guerrero, and then you can find me on Instagram, FG De La Cruz, and then you can find me on Twitter for Fernando Guerrero, and it's just yeah.
All right, well, thanks so much for joining us. Class guy, we wish nothing but the best for you in the future. We'd love to have you back on at some point. Anything else that you want to say before we let you go?
Well, no, everybody's starting. Hopefully, they have a good year, and please catch the fight.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it so much, and best of luck to you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks. All right, that was Fernando Guerrero. Thanks so much to him for joining us. Wow, Jeff, quite a nice guy. Him and Peter, that's going to be the battle of two nice guys there.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get Ms. Ferrara on the phone here. Jeff, just go ahead and continue this fight with Mo and just give us the breakdown there and what you're expecting.
I don't know no breakdown.
Well, tell us about Mo.
Well, one thing about Mo is that Mo's been working extremely hard with his boxing, with his jiu-jitsu, with pretty much everything. So I don't know too much about the other guy, but I know that he better be ready because Mo's going to come, and Mo's in great shape, and he's ready to fight.
Yeah. Oh, I had a little technical difficulty there. Still trying to get Ashley on here. What's that? So, Jeff, tell us what else is going on new in the Mayweather gym there?
Not really a whole lot going on. I mean, you have Ashley Smith, of course, getting ready for his title fight with K9 Bundrich. So, it's been some festive sparring with him and his sparring partners. And for the most part, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, Floyd has signed a lot of the fighters that are actually in the gym. So, he's building his, his team, of fighters. He has maybe about 6 fighters signed now. So, I mean, that's one of the things that's going on. But, so, I mean, basically, other than that, the gym is the gym.
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to bring on our next guest right here. We're going to class to join up a little bit. First time on the show, ring card girl for MMA and UFC and a boxing junkie, she says. Ashley Ferrara, welcome to the show. You're on with myself and Jeff Mayweather.
Hi, how are you guys doing tonight? Thank you so much for having me.
Good, and yourself?
Oh, no complaints. I'm in Oklahoma tonight, and it's pretty chilly out, so I'm jealous you guys are on the West Coast.
No, I'll be in Oklahoma.
Yeah, are you?
So
are you anywhere near Thackerville, Ashley?
You know what? I'm actually about 2 hours north of there. Are you going to be at the Bellator fights?
Yeah.
That should be a good time. That's a great casino.
Yeah, I don't know if you know how much you follow the MMA stuff, but with King Mo's actually trains his boxing with Jeff, so he's going to be there in the corner for King Mo.
That is awesome. Well, you will not be disappointed. That casino, it's beautiful on the inside and the outside. So I hope everybody in Oklahoma treats you very well.
So you're at a Hooters tonight, right? Oh, sorry, Jeff. Go ahead.
No, I said I've been to Oklahoma once. I used to train George.
George to do a new
Comanche kid. Whatever, but he's from Oklahoma as well. So he's an Indian fighter.
He
George,
is, and he will be. I have ring carded some of his fights. He'll actually be fighting on Friday night fights.
He's fighting Delvin Rodriguez.
Yeah, they call him Comanche Boy here.
Yeah,
that is his nickname.
Yeah.
I used to train him too.
Oh, well, he certainly has a very impressive record, so that definitely speaks volumes about you.
Yeah, well, he's a good fighter.
Yeah. It'll be exciting to watch him on Friday Night Fights.
Definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, tell us a little about you, Ashley. You do the boxing and MMA. So just to the folks that aren't aware of you, that that missed that, tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I love ring carding for boxing, especially. I do a few MMA fights, but mostly boxing. It's such a great sport, and it's one that I love to watch. So when I ring card, I get great seats, which is a huge bonus for ring carding. Right up and close with the action. I've gotten blood dripped on me before, and it's pretty exciting. I'm in my last semester of law school, so y'all better watch out.
Whoa, see now there you go. You got a built-in lawsuit. You ogle the ring card girl, and you get sued. See, you got everything.
Well, you know what? Some of the great boxing promoters are attorneys. Bob Arum is an attorney. Lou DiBello is an attorney. So maybe I'll just become a promoter one day.
Yeah, you never know. It's like, do you have one that you prefer more? I mean, you said you do more of the boxing, but do you have a preference in boxing or MMA?
Well, you know what? It's funny. We just went to the Strike Force finale when it was in Oklahoma City, and we had a good time there. But there's just something amazing about the atmosphere at a boxing fight that I just didn't feel when I was there. So I would have to say that I really do love boxing, and I would absolutely go to an MMA fight, if I didn't have tickets to a boxing fight that night. But my first love would definitely probably have to be boxing.
Hey, Jeff, let me ask you this. I don't know if you had a chance to go check out some of Ashley's pictures, but she certainly is a head-turner. There ever been an instance in a fight where either you or even worse, one of your fighters, and I can think of one specifically, not involving you, but where the ring card girl has kind of distracted either you or a fighter?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say it distracted me, but I was always, anytime I was a fighter, I mean, I was aware of the ring card girls. I mean, most of the time, only time you're not really aware of the ring card girls being in the ring is usually when you're the one you're the one that's being beat up because you are getting, a cut attended to or something like that. But I think most fighters are aware of the ring card girls. At some point in time, you actually take a look at the ring card girls as they walk around the ring. It's not like you're just so focused about boxing that you don't realize what's going on.
I know a couple of months ago in the Matisse Jose fight, I can't remember his name, but the guy that I believe it was J. Leon Love, the guy that was disqualified him for fighting him, he actually was after he was actually hitting on the girl in the ring while they were announcing the decision. It's absolutely bizarre.
Cool.
That he was that focused on the girl. What's that?
Cool.
Yeah, it was. I can't remember the guy's name, but it was whoever it was.
I have actually heard a ring card girl hitting on a fighter while in the ring once, so I would say anything is possible.
Oh, well, give us the details. You don't have to tell the names, but, give us the details of that.
Well, I was at a fight, and it was on Showtime, and we were standing behind the fighter as they were announcing his name, and the Showtime camera, was filming us, and the girl yelled out, "Will you do body shots with me after the fight?" And I thought, oh, no. And, of course, the camera then switches away. Probably not something that you really want the ring card girl saying on TV like that. But it was funny in retrospect.
Any particular stories with you that are interesting one way or the other?
Well, I don't think I'd be able to tell my story without giving the person away, so I'm going to not tell that one. But I will say that, you know, it does happen. I mean, ring card girls are very pretty, and, you know, the boxers are the heroes of the day, so they always want to take the pretty girl out. But for the most part, it probably occurs a little less than you might think. I haven't really partied with boxers a lot afterwards. I think the production
crews. You're busy studying for law school, right?
Well, you know, the media guys and the production crews, they're all usually awesome. And, you know, as you know, I'm sure as you guys know, but as you go to different fights, you get to meet friends, and it's always a nice little reunion. The fighters always change, but the production crews, you know, for Showtime or HBO are usually the same. So that makes it pretty awesome to see those people over and over again.
Right. You know, you mentioned how pretty they are, but, you know, it's for some reason Las Vegas, which is filled with lots of pretty girls, too many times I'm absolutely disappointed by the ring card girls. What goes into selecting them? Do they just does it depend on the venue or the promotion, or you know, just explain how you become a ring card girl?
That's a great question, because it's one of the biggest things that boxing needs to change. The way that most ring card girls are chosen, especially for local events, is that they will have the local promoter go out and find some girls, whether it's friends that he knows, or they'll use a local a local modeling agency or something. But you see what the UFC does, you see what Strikeforce does, you see what Bellator does. I mean, every time you walk into any kind of newsstand, Ariane Celeste, Brittany Palmer, you know, the UFC ring card girls, they're front and center. And boxing absolutely needs to get some of these, you know, named ring card girls that people can identify with. It's definitely a marketing value that's untapped, and it's probably the one thing that I am just most passionate about. So I'm so happy that you asked about that.
Yeah, I think a lot of the problem there, and Jeff, you can probably speak better on this than I can, but, you know, when you have Bellator and you have UFC or Strikeforce, it's one central organization promoting their brand. So, you know, when I see Ariane Celeste, I know that's UFC. However, with boxing, you have, you know, different promoters, you have different organizations, so it's hard to promote one particular person. You know, everyone's more concerned with themselves than they are promoting the sport in general. Jeff, your thoughts on that?
Well, I think when it comes to boxing, it just seems like it's more about the fight itself and not so much about, you know, the ring card girls. But, I mean, I think that, just like she said, that maybe if, you know, they would use, you know, particular ring card girls, I mean, they would become more of an attraction themselves and actually a part of the event.
Right.
That's exactly
it does
true. I completely agree. Because, I mean, Top Ranking Golden Boy are two of the biggest promotional companies, and they could definitely get one or two girls to represent them. And, you know, you say that UFC and Strikeforce, you know, Ariane is UFC, but there's no reason that Top Rank can't have a named girl. And the amount of marketing dollars that these girls could pull into this sport, you may be able to develop programs like pension and benefits with extra dollars around. It could be great for everybody.
Right. You know, and in considering your boxing and your audience is, you know, 90% male or whatever it is, that, you know, having pretty girls forward there representing your brand can't be a bad thing. You know, they're going to get paid attention to. And I'm sure they're making, you know, I mean, UFC is making money off Ariane. There's no doubt about that. You know, it's great for her. She's getting popular and she's famous. But no doubt about it, they're capitalizing on that, and they're selling the calendars and whatever else. So they're certainly benefiting from her popularity.
Yeah, and you might even be able to pull in new fans. I mean, the ring card girls, they develop a fan base. The UFC ones, they develop a fan base, and people will go to see them. And pulling in a younger crowd to, you know, really develop the sport going forward and come to the events, boxing's kind of an older crowd. And if we had a younger demographic coming in, even if it is at first to see the ring card girls, they find fighters they like and they keep coming, and that's what I think would be a great benefit.
All right. Last thing I want to ask you about that, and we'll get into some boxing talk because, you know, Jeff, Jeff, he doesn't take anyone doesn't get too warm with anyone until he knows how well they know their boxing. So we're gonna have to test you out here. But just as far as how did you get involved? When did you decide it was something you wanted to do? And just how do you enjoy the experience? I mean, basically you're up front and center there without much clothing on for everyone to see. So just rate the overall experience for yourself.
You know what? It's always so fun to do events and the big fights. I did Chavez Jr.'s fight last year in San Antonio, and the crowd gets so excited that the one thing I always think is don't trip. Just please don't fall. And then I always tell myself if I fall, I just have to smile when I'm getting back up, and, as long as I don't make a big deal out of it, hopefully the crowd won't as well. So it's definitely something I love doing and hope to do going forward. And I'm kind of hoping that Jeff is kind to me in this next segment, knowing that I'm also studying for law school. So.
Oh, he's not kind at all. He's one of them. Unlike Fernando Guerrero, he's probably one of the meanest people you'll ever meet. So you got to be careful with Jeff. But we'll try to make sure he's nice to you.
Oh gosh. Well, I will just plead the fifth if I have to, I guess.
No. First, I guess, we'll start with you, Jeff. The one thing on the show is surprising. We hardly ever talk about Floyd, so, let's get into that a little bit. We've known for a while that he's fighting on May 4th, but still no opponent. There's been rumors. Is it Canelo? Is it Robert Guerrero? Now they're talking Tim Bradley. I know you don't know who it is, but why is there such a delay in this announcement?
I think maybe Floyd just wants it to be that way. But, chances of it being Tim Bradley are almost slim and none. We know that. They just, Bob Arum doesn't put his fighters in with Floyd. So that's not going to happen. So that's one.
Right, well,
that's one.
The one.
I said that Bob Arum does not do business with Floyd. So Tim Bradley's not fighting Floyd.
Right. Well, that's the one thing, I read Dan Raphael's blog the other day, and he's talking about the possibility of it being that. He mentioned, obviously that, Floyd has a, rough relationship with Top Rank, but perhaps, he threw out there that was one of the reasons why the fight hasn't been announced, because they're undergoing some, very sensitive and delicate negotiations and trying to work this out. So, you just have to refute that. I think there's no way that he's ever going to fight a Top Rank guy.
I don't think
Manny, I guess, at some point.
No, I don't think so. When they had Manny and they didn't make the fight with Manny, the fight's never going to be made. Tim Bradley can't sell out 5,000 homes. So, that fight won't happen.
All right. Ashley, let's turn it over to you there. Who would you like to see him fight? Like I said, all the names that have been out there. I guess from a fan standpoint, and then if you were Floyd himself, which path would you take?
Well, see, I look at this as I want whatever fight is going to get the most amount of the mainstream audience who doesn't typically tune into boxing to watch the fight. If that mainstream crowd still wants to see Floyd fight Pacquiao, that's what I want. If they want to see him fight somebody new, that's what I want. But I think it's really important for boxing. It's kind of at a phase right now where they really need to generate new fans, particularly younger fans, and people who are excited about continuing the sport going forward. MMA is on such an awesome run that to really compete with it, you needed to get a little bit more mainstream. They've done some great things on NBC Sports, having it on, Saturday afternoon, and I think continuing things like that would be great. So whatever everybody else wants is absolutely what I want.
I don't know, Jeff. She demonstrated some knowledge there, but she kind of copped out and just said whatever everyone else wants. I don't think that's good enough, right?
Well, as a ring card girl, I want whatever's going to get the most amount of rounds. So you tell me.
The most amount of rounds.
He's not going to get knocked out.
That is truly a ring card girl talking, because the corner, they want as least rounds as possible. And the fight want as least rounds as possible. That's funny.
I can see her whispering over to you, Jeff. You know, hey, Jeff, slow your guy down. I want this to go 3 more rounds at least so I can get out there a couple more times.
Right.
Well, you know, a ring card girl's worst nightmare is a first-round knockout because you don't walk the first round. So you can have a huge title fight and never step foot in the ring.
Yeah, that's
well,
true.
you do after when the decision's announced, right? You're in there.
It's just not the same. It's just not. Nobody is cheering for you. They're cheering for the fighters.
Yeah, you're getting a chance to stretch.
And you know, we don't get paid by the round. So, you know, the more rounds, I don't get paid any extra for that. So it's because I love it, which is why I would want it to go more rounds.
So Jeff, you know, Bradley's, you know, according to you, there's no chance that's going to happen. So are you still sticking, you know, with Guerrero? That's the most logical opponent?
I think so. I think he's probably the most logical. I mean, it's only really, I mean, you know, there's basically him or Canelo.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, most people are kind of saying it's
No,
go ahead. So,
No,
yeah, it just seems, you know, the most common train of thought is that it's going to be Guerrero here in May May, and then Canelo in the fall. So you know, that seems logical. Like I said, Guerrero to me it just seems like that's such a, you know, I don't want to see it. I mean, you know, obviously Guerrero's done some nice things here recently, but it just seems like such a I don't want to say easy fight because no fight's ever easy, but it just seems like he can do better than that. But you know, hey, whatever's bringing the dollars, right?
Well, I mean, I think the thing is that, you know, before Guerrero got the win of Roberto, I mean, I think that it was perceived that way. But now, after beating Berto and, you know, in the way that he beat Berto, I think that there's a lot of people that, you know, are basically on the bandwagon now of Guerrero and probably feel that he does have a chance.
Right. Ash, let me ask you this. You know, obviously the Manny Pacquiao lost his last fight there. There's been a lot of talk whether he should continue to fight. Your thoughts on him? You know, do you want to see him continue to fight, and do you think that he can restore his career and maybe one day get that shot with Floyd and have those two square off?
Well, you know, I kind of made a joking tweet after I saw that fight that said maybe he does need to get back to his vices to start fighting well again. But I think more, you know, I'm thinking about your previous question, and I would definitely love to see Floyd fight Canelo. If not in May, definitely in September, because the awesome crowd that Canelo brings, you know, the Mexican fan base on Independence Day, it's an electric atmosphere. And even to just the restaurants that show the fight, it's pretty exciting. So I would love to see that. But, you know, as for Pacquiao, he really does have some other career ambitions, and if that's what he wants to do, and, you know, maybe that's what he should do. It's very noble being a public servant, and, you know, I think that he should definitely pursue that if he wants. So I did hear some talk about him being upset about the taxes being high in the U.S., so that if he did fight, he would probably want to do it outside of the U.S., so maybe we could also get some tax exemptions going in there.
Well, no, I think you're being a little hypocritical, though. You know, you're kind of saying that you know, maybe he's distracted by doing two things at once, but yeah, here you are being a ring card girl and doing law school. Do you find that distracts you, and do you think that you're not quite able to live up to your full potential as a ring card girl because you're distracted by law school?
Well, I am not getting punched in the face, so I think that makes it a lot easier. All I have to do is walk around in heels, and that is way easier. So I think that makes it easier to balance things. It's always a hard balance, and, you know, I didn't get to go out to Vegas this year I guess in December for the Pacquiao fight because I had finals, and that was pretty disappointing. But, you know, I am so close to being finished that doesn't really matter anymore, and I will be an attorney and ring card girl. So I think I've got it balanced all right.
Well, I'm sure your cheesy lawyer commercials like they always have, for every law firm, I'm sure they'll be quite popular when you throw those up. A lot better than Glenn Lerner, right, Jeff?
I can guarantee you that I will never be on one of those. I will never be on one of those.
You could be like
I don't know about there, about. Jeff, going back to Pacquiao, just what do you think? Like Ashley touched on, and I wanted to bring that up about the dual thing, him being involved in politics, and seems like since he got really involved in that, his his abilities in the ring have slipped. If he does continue, do you think he can do so successfully? Juggling both those things at the same time, or what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, to be honest, I think that you can juggle the two things at once if it's something that you really want to do. I mean, it's not like boxing takes, a whole lot of your day. I mean, you may train 2 hours a day, that's it. So, I mean, something's wrong, you got to be focused, but at the same time, he's been fighting for I don't know how many years, so that's nothing. So, I mean, he can do the both. It's just that people have a tendency to think that you can't because, you have to focus on this. No, you don't have to focus. If you've been boxing all your life, and as long as he's been boxing, you don't have to focus on boxing. Only thing he needs to do is get in the gym and work hard and do what he needs to do. And come home and do what he needs to do as far as being, a politician. It's no big deal.
Right. And I think that's the thing that a lot of fans don't realize. They don't really know what goes on in the gym. We're raised on Rocky, and we think that it's, you wake up at 5 a.m., eat some raw eggs and run, 20 miles, and then you spend all day chasing chickens and working out and chopping lumber and all that kind of stuff. And then, it's a full-time, 12-hour day thing. And like you said, it's not really necessarily that. Usually they'll have, just a few hours of work, might change a little bit come fight time, but it's not all consuming where you can't do anything else.
No. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, you got to get up, you do your road work. After you do your road work, I mean, depends on how your regimen is. Sometimes you have people that have a strength trainer, and then they'll do their strength training work, and then they go to the gym. But what I'm saying is that as long as he's been boxing, that structure won't really matter as much because he knows what he has to do. As a fighter, he knows what he has to do. As a politician, he probably doesn't know. So right. that would be more. I think that would be more difficult for him than the boxing. Preparing for a fight.
Right. Now, actually, let me ask you this: How often do you work? Are you ring card girl? And does your preparation, like a boxer, does it change? Come closer to fight time, so you can get in tip-top shape.
Well, last spring semester was the hardest. I think it was 8 weeks. I was traveling for 7 of them, and by the end of it, I was so tired. I was in almost a different city every weekend doing a fight. But I got to do some really cool things. I ring carded at the USA National Championship, the Chavez Jr. fight, and just a lot of great events. So my training really has more to do with making sure that I'm keeping up with my schoolwork and making sure that I'm handling all of the other things that go along with it, like remembering to eat right when I'm on the road and things like that. But you gotta look it up there, so you cannot forget to do that. And it's also something that I enjoy to do. I mean, Jeff hit it right on the head. If you are not passionate about it, then it doesn't matter how much time you have to do it because you're not going to give your 100% anyway. So if you want to do it, then you will definitely make a way to do it. So, I mean, this Thursday I have class all day, but then on Thursday night it is the Oklahoma City Charity Fight Night, and Boom Boom Mancini will be in town hosting that, and I'll be one of the hostesses there as well. So, I have time to do that because I got the rest of my work done all this week.
Right. Any particular? Well, first of all, what was your favorite event you've ever worked at, and then who are some of the active guys that you're a big fan of?
My favorite venue would absolutely have to be the Alamo Dome because I had been to the Alamo Bowl there and, seen a football game there. I'd seen the Women's Final Four there, and to me it was always just such a special place. First of all, because it's in Texas and I'm from Texas. Second off, because it's such a huge sporting venue that so many people know that it was really special to me to actually get to be a part of an event there. And there was just something about looking out into the crowd and just seeing people about as far as your eye could see that really made it special. Man, you're not really going to make me pick one person that I like, are you?
No, name a few. We won't. I know you can't name a person. That's obviously you've shown you can't do that with naming an opponent. So we'll let you throw a few out there.
Well, I will name my former. I mean, he doesn't fight anymore, but Larry Holmes is definitely my favorite boxer. He's one of the funniest guys I think I've ever seen on TV, and I think he's pretty awesome.
Yeah, actually, we had Larry Holmes on a few months ago, and I got a chance to meet him out here before that, and very surprised. You had this perception, of a guy being one way and totally opposite. He was an absolute pleasure. He was singing and dancing, and and couldn't have been nicer to everybody. So, yeah, he's a class guy, and he's certainly someone that I'm a big fan of, and Jeff as well.
Yeah, and I do have a few local fighters that I also do like to follow. Adam Lopez is one of the fighters that I follow. He's been on a couple of undercards that I've done. He's one of the nicest kids that I have ever met, and he works probably harder than anybody also that I know. And so I think I follow people who, may not be fighting on the televised portion of events, but are just people who have really been good to me along the way, and I've seen them work absolutely the hardest.
See now, Jeff, I didn't hear a Floyd Mayweather in there. I didn't hear Celestino Caballero or any of the guys you work with, Jeff. So I don't know.
Well, that would be sucking up. I'm not. I mean, please, people can see through that. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear.
Well, that's the whole purpose of the show. We're just here to suck up to Jeff, and kiss ass any way possible, right? He demands that. So it's really tough to deal with.
I already said he made an excellent point. Was that not enough?
No, but you know what's ironic? Okay, did you say?
Well then why don't you ask me who my favorite trainer is?
There you go, Roger Mayweather, right?
It would be Jeff Mayweather.
Jeff, what were you going to say?
No. She was speaking about Ray Mancini doing a movie.
Yes.
Well,
he will be in.
Is there another boxing movie?
I didn't catch that last part.
No, I said, is it a boxing?
No, I don't think he's in it, Jeff. I think he's hosting it. He's not actually in it, right, Ashley?
Oh yeah, that's correct. He will be in town hosting a charity fight that we do. I just read an article in the paper that he actually grew up with the Stoops brothers, who are here in Norman coaching the OU football team, and so I guess it'll be very cool for him to come down here and see them and host our fight night. And it benefits the Police Athletic League here in Oklahoma City, so it's really cool that he's coming down for that.
Yeah, he's a very nice guy. I actually did a movie with him.
Did you? Do you think he'll sign my book if I ask him?
Will you do what?
Do you think he'll sign my book if I ask him?
Yeah, I'm sure he will. He's a very, very nice guy.
If I say, hey, Ray, I know Jeff Mayweather, will you sign my book? Will that be enough?
Yes, that'll get you in, for sure.
See, that's another great
I'm sure you don't need any... I'm sure you won't need any tricks to get him to sign your book. You just ask him. I'm sure he'll be more than happy to. So you live there in Oklahoma City, huh?
Yeah, just south of Oklahoma City.
Yeah, actually, I met my wife she was going to Central Oklahoma there. I met her in Edmond.
Wow. Well, that is, Edmond's definitely one of the nicest parts of town, so you have good taste, and I'm sure that your wife does as well.
Well,
she was there studying on a scholarship from Panama, and that's where I met her there. And I lived in Texas as well. Where are you from there?
Houston.
And I lived in Spring when I went to high school. So.
No way.
Hey, Ashley, don't believe that story, because I remember what he told me. He told me he met his wife under the bridge.
Are you calling my wife a troll? I'm going to get her on here, Jeff.
I didn't say she was a troll.
I don't. Yeah, I think she has some.
She was under the bridge.
I think she was
right by the exit with the sign.
I think it's a total compliment compared to what he was actually saying.
I think she might have met me under the bridge, but no, she was studying English there at Central Oklahoma. I got to go up there. Yeah, it's a real beautiful city.
Well, Oklahoma is known for beautiful girls too. We're actually tied for I think it's number of Miss USA's with California, so we packed quite a punch for a little state.
There you go. All right, well, actually, that's going to about do it for us. Just as far as I'm sure you have tons of fans already, but for the 5 people that don't follow you, just let them know where they can keep up with you on Twitter and Instagram and whatever arena you're working at next.
Yes, well, you can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is at Ashley Ferrara, ASHLEYFERRARA. And my Instagram is Ashley Ferrara Model, so same name with model at the end. And the next thing I will be doing is on Thursday hosting this charity fight night. So definitely looking forward to that. I'm working on letting them have me ring card around. It's a celebrity ring card round. So we'll see how that goes. I have to convince them that I'm cool enough to do it, so we'll see.
All right. Jeff, any final thoughts for Ashley or anything else to say?
Well, I wish Ashley continued success, and I might be needing you one day. I don't know, what kind of trainer are you? I might...
Yeah, what kind of law are you studying?
Well, I would love to come to the next Mayweather fight, and I might even say that he's my favorite if I come. But I really
What kind of law are you studying, Ashley? What kind of law are you studying?
Probably oil and gas contracts. That is.
I don't think you need that, Jeff.
No oil. I ain't got no oil or even got no gas in my car, so she can't help me.
Well, we just gotta find it. We'll just drill for it.
I guess being in Oklahoma, you're never gonna. That's quite a good thing to study because you got abundance of oil there. Ashley, I'm kind of inspired. I'm gonna go watch Legally Blonde now. After having you on. Is it a pretty accurate portrayal?
Was that a direct comment or what? I was trying to,
Well, no, actually, I'm sure, you probably get comments like that all the time, right?
I do, actually. And you know what? She was very successful, and she made a lot more money than most of her classmates. So that is not the worst compliment I have ever received. I will tell you that much.
Exactly. Ashley, it was great having you on the show, and thanks so much for joining us. We'll have you back anytime. You're a delight, and best of luck to you. Hopefully, Ray Mancini signs your book, and like I said, it was just a pleasure having you on. Anything else you want to add before we let you go and wrap up the show?
No, I just want to say thank you guys again for having me on, and just remind everybody that Jeff Mayweather's my favorite trainer. So I really appreciate it. And anytime you guys want some dirt about the ring card girl world, you just let me know, and I will help you all out.
Well, maybe if you ever get to work one of his fights, you can whisper at him something about body shots or in the middle of the fight and then get him all sidetracked there.
I will probably wait till after the fight, all right?
All right. Jeff, we skipped it with Fernando, but, we'll let you go ahead and do your customary dismissal of Ashley and as we let her go and wrap up the show.
Well, I can't do that to a woman.
Well, you can think I can't take it? Come on. Give me your best shot.
You sure you can take it?
Oh,
ready?
I can.
Are
Yeah,
you ready? I'm going to give you a body shot.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Thanks a lot, Ashley. That was Ashley Ferrara there. Thanks so much to her and Fernando Guerrero for joining us in the first half of the show. Jeff, anything else to add before we go? Great show tonight and a couple of really good guests.
Yes, I enjoyed the show tonight. I think that Ashley was very funny, and Guerrero was very serious, and and he was also in a strange way very animated. So no, it was a good show. I liked it.
Yeah, definitely, and we will see y'all next week. And be sure to check out the website ProBoxingInsider.com. Check out Jeff on Twitter at Jeff Mayweather1. Follow Pro Boxing Insider's Twitter at PBInsider. For Jeff Mayweather, Fernando Guerrero, Ashley Ferrara, we will talk to y'all next week. This is Pro Boxing Insider. Or, I'm sorry, the Jeff Mayweather Show. Take care.